corner mates, it's your girl Capri, and we back for another episode of the pod, Capri's Corner. Thank you so much for tuning back in with me, and I made it another week. Yay for me. So how has my week been going? My week has been fine. My week has been good. It's even better because later today I will be going to see Spider-Man. Bet girl, the name done lost me. Better Home, On the Way Home, Phone Home, ET. The point is he going home. You see what I'm saying? Or a better day. Is it a new day? I'm so sorry, Marvel fans. It's really slipping my mind right now. Point is, I'm going to go see the new Marvel movie, the new Spider-Man Marvel movie later in the day. And I got it. I'm really excited too, because now, don't get me wrong. Personally, it's rare that I'll ever go to an opening event for Marvel, like an opening movie event. Very rare. Now, one I wish so bad, and I did not have the money. Well, end up having the money, but again, life happened. So I had to use money for something else, was for Avengers Endgame. I really wish that's it. I had too many regrets in life. I have too many regrets, right? But that one not being in the theater when that happened, that's one of my regrets. But other than that, I usually don't go because like I don't like dealing with it's too much. I get overstimulated real fast. And when I get overstimulated real fast, I get violent real fast because I be short. I'd be like, please back up. And they said, huh? Boom. I said back up. You see what I'm saying? Now you leaking. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Why didn't you listen? Why didn't you listen? Right. So that's why I usually I don't go. Also, just because like most times I end up going by myself because like I'm not saying that my friends don't like Marvel movies, but they not Marvel like heads like myself. Like they don't enjoy, you know what I mean, just reading the comics and stuff like that and like watching some of y'all's like YouTube videos talking about it and stuff like they're not like that. So like they'll go, but like they not as enthused. And like I feel like if we go into an open event, you gotta be enthused. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to be enthused in the crowd. And like going by myself, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that I'm not a people person. It's just that that's also very overwhelming for me. I kind of like, I'd be like, ooh, so many people. I don't know y'all. And then like, it be feeling like y'all all in y'all little cliques. So I just be silent until like, you know, I meet someone. Until like someone like, you know what I mean? If somebody approaches me or like has a conversation with me, then I open up or whatever. But like for the most part, I don't go. But this time I'm happy because I got a matinee ticket, which means I got matinee prices, right? On top of the fact that if you have T-Mobile or Metro PCS, but it's not called Metro PCS no more. It's just called Metro because T-Mobile owe Metro, right? But if you got Metro and them T-Mobile Tuesdays, you get access to them same deals. They don't want to tell you. T-Mobile don't want to tell you that because they don't want you to be great. They don't want you to know that because I'm looking at you, T-Mobile, because you be treating the Metro customers like we bald-headed stepchildren, and I'm truly sick of it. So, but you can get it, and you better act today. Well, whenever this get posted. It's a Friday right now. So if it's Saturday, it's too late. But if I post this on Friday and you see this, it's not too late. Go get it because you got till Saturday to get on that thing and get a $5 movie ticket to go see Spider-Man. The name is still escaping me. I see the movie. I see the movie poster and everything, but the name is blank. It's blank. I see even the coloring of the lettering, but like I don't see the actual word. So sorry, y'all. So sorry. But I'm excited that I'm gonna go see that because I have and also I didn't want y'all to ruin it for me because I understand that, like, you know what I mean, you want to talk about the movie and stuff like that, but y'all literally leave the theater and be like, oh my God, can you believe that this person did this, and this? Like, you spoiled the best part of the whole goddamn movie. Can you at least give me a week? Can we do the type of respectful behavior that we had after Endgame? I remember, I think it was the people behind Endgame, they was like, look, don't do no spoilers. Or was it Infinity War? One of them two. I think even both. He said, don't post no spoilers for a whole month. He said, don't post nothing. And y'all all followed it to the T. Can we go back to that? Because like I watched Obsession probably within the first 2 weeks that it came out. And so like I talked about it a little bit on social media, but I didn't do too much because most people hadn't seen it. And then probably about 2 weeks later, maybe a week or so later, everybody and their mama will talk about it. I said, because now more people have seen it because it's made its way to the streaming platforms or people finally made their way to the theaters. Either way, now I feel like now is an appropriate time to talk about it because it seems that more people have seen it, right? That's all I want y'all to go back to. So that's the reason why I got my ticket. Y'all pressured me. Y'all coerced me into getting a ticket early. Granted, I'm glad I did that. It all worked out in the end. But still, I don't appreciate that level of coercion. I don't like that. Fix it. Do better. Anyway, but other than that, things are going great. So let's just go ahead and hop into the show. We're gonna start with the love corner first, because like I think we should start the episode off with a little bit of love. Now, what did I love this week? I loved how Mano, and I don't know who that other man is with the not fabulous, because I don't pay attention to his abusive ass. I don't even know. First of all, Mano, I don't even know why his black ass on the podcast. Why he on the pod, Mano? Why Fabulous on the pod? That's the reason why you don't show his ass like that anyway, because you know good and goddamn well everybody gonna remember that he knocked Emily's teeth out her mouth. I remember, and I'm gonna say it every goddamn time. I want to see him on the pod. Same way I don't see that goddamn light-skinned demon Christopher beat him up Brown on the goddamn stage gyrating, but I won't have to see him much longer. I won't have to see him much longer. Well, I won't have to see it all because I never watched anything that he has done or his concert or his things of that nature. But he did it to himself, because we're gonna step into another part of the love corner that I love, right? Anyway, point is, all of the men on that podcast, I don't know the name of Mano's podcast. I literally just discovered that he had a podcast. But also, I do remember one of my mutuals, Casanova Brown, they was talking about like rappers that's like an immediate yes for them. And they said Mano was an immediate yes. And I said, I'm so glad that somebody sees the vision. I'm so glad that somebody sees the vision. And then I heard Mano speak. I said, oh. I said, wait a minute. I knew he was fine, but yeah, okay. Anyway, but all of them, they was talking about, do you allow girls in the section, or do you allow girls to get your bottle that you pay for? Immediately, Jim Jones said, no, bitch, you didn't pay for it. So you can't come. You can't. This is for my homies who also didn't pay for it. But like, because I appreciate my homies, and even though I'm straight, I'm gonna show my homies more love than the potential women that's in the section, right? And immediately, now I thought, again, like I'm wrong for assuming that men was going to agree with him, because lately that's what all y'all seem to be on. And I don't know if there's a slick turn in the tide, maybe the male loneliness epidemic, maybe y'all really that tired of beating your meat. But I'm starting to see a little more men's starting to say things like, it's not, we got to be nice to ladies, because it's how we gonna get the cat if we being mean to the cat. How that work? Right? So that's what they all said. They said, whoa, I don't know what that nigga talking about. No, we is not saying that to the women. We not saying that to the coochie. Mano was like, huh. I don't have the glasses, but that Mano, everything he said, he be, had that out. It tickled me every time, but Mano was so confused. He said, whoa, no. I don't care. You come to my section, you can have you a bottle, you can have you everyone how many drinks you want, this for you. And then Jen was looking at them like, wait, we not hating on the bitches, we not doing incel stuff. And they said no. I have no idea what Fabulous said, because we don't give a fuck what Fabulous said, because he shouldn't be on the goddamn pot. Right? So I don't know what he said, but I don't pay attention to trick ass bitches. So like I don't give a fuck what he said. But everybody else, that fine man that also was on that pod, I don't know his name. Who he? I know what you're thinking. If I'm supposed to know who he is, I'm very, very sorry to that man. I just know he's fine. Him and Mano. Right now. Okay. Anyway, point is, I just appreciate that fact, because I'm about tired of y'all. That's why I be telling y'all. It's men are only care about other men's opinions, and men are only scared of other men. That's it. That's all. Right? So when another nigga shame you for some incel bullshit, you see how quickly Jim Jones, his back straightened up immediately. He said, oh, the niggas is mad. Oh, no, my homies. Oh my God. And then he said, okay. Now, does he really believe that? Absolutely not. No, he doesn't. Right? He's still going to be the main dude in the section being weird because the women is drinking the drinks in the section. He going to be the one trying to figure out what, like, only the baddest bitch can have some drink. But if her friends ain't bad, then he going to be watching them. No, she done took like 2 shots. That's enough. Ugly, like, you see what I'm saying? He gonna be weird. And then I remember I seen another clip where they was talking about it, where they was like, the other clip they was talking about like what kind of girls would be in the section. He was like, oh, so you would let the girl a stud in the section? And Mano was like, if the friend is fine, you see what I'm saying, and she just happened to be rolling with the stud allowed in the section. The big girls is allowed in the section. Her, I guess, not so beautiful friend is allowed in the section, because if she fine, if she A1, I need you calm, cool, and collected. I need you comfortable. You see what I'm saying? You can't be comfortable if I just let you in there and it's, you know what I'm saying, and it's just a bunch of randoms. You need your homegirls, so you can relax, take a drink, and then you can talk to me. You see what I'm saying? Like technical difficulties, as I said, because sometimes technology does not want to work in your favor. But we carry on. right? But as I was saying, I've been said it before. Men only care about what other men think. Men only care about are only scared of other men, and so that's the reason why Jim Jones was turned into a bitch made bitch. But we already knew that, and this is honestly the cleanest I've ever seen Jim Jones's braids look. And honestly, I'm proud of you for that fact, Jim Jones. I'm proud of you. I don't know if Chrissy got you on a better hair care routine because you need to be taken care of. Because now I definitely understand why Chrissy proposed. Like that whole interaction, I definitely understand why Chrissy proposed to you because it was never in you. It's in her. It's all in her. It's not in you. I get it now. I get it. So that makes sense. That makes sense. But anyway, all right, what else did I love this week? NYC lawyers, right? There was another Coldplay incident, guys. Yes. And if you don't know what the Coldplay incident is, last year, I don't remember exactly what they did, but we just gonna call them corporate people. Two people went to a Coldplay concert, and both of them was married, but they went together with each other, and they was hugged up having a good old time listening to Coldplay. And then Coldplay put them on the jumbotron because that's just what Coldplay be doing, putting people on the jumbotron. And then that's when we caught them in the act. When they got put on the jumbotron, they went, no. And then it turned into a whole mess. He had to resign from his job. She lost her job. The wife divorced him, I believe, and it was a whole mess. And then now the woman that was involved in the affair, she done rebranded herself because I think she was on like the Today Show and she done wrote a book and all that sort of stuff. You know how the happy ending they get for white people. Everybody took it seriously, but not that seriously. You see how easily she was able to rebrand. So give it another like year or some change, and everyone's gonna forget, and she's gonna be able to move on with her life. But she's gonna act like it. She's gonna act like it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. And as I said, it was entirely avoidable. Entirely avoidable. But anyway, the point is that same incident has replayed itself in New York City, except in the park. Nathaniel Cullerton, 45 years old, and Kelsey Bronswig, 29, were caught in a park in New York City by a Jay Guapo. They didn't know that Jay Guapo is famous on TikTok. He had 3.2 million followers. So when he posted that shit, went mega viral, right? Immediately. That's how everybody's able to find out the information very quickly. Now, Kelsey, not married. She's single. Nathaniel, he married. Now, both of these people is lawyers. Guess who Nathan married to? A divorce attorney. Allegedly, that is what the streets keep saying. So I'm going to put allegedly, but I do know that she is a lawyer. The divorce lawyer part, that's alleged. But I love that for her. If she is a divorce attorney, I love that for her because he made it so easy. He made it so easy, and I hope she's the best divorce attorney in New York City. I hope she is in the top one. Like, if she's not the top attorney in New York City, she at least in the top five. You see what I'm saying? She ain't nothing to play with. She a dog. She a beast in that courtroom. That's what I hope. Because I hope she gets you for everything you have. Because listen, y'all got to be smarter with this cheating shit. I don't condone cheating, but I can't tell y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. Y'all grown. Everybody tell y'all not cheat. Everybody tell you believe it, but y'all don't want to because it apparently cheap to keep it. So like y'all can do what you want to do. So if we gonna okay cheating, I think y'all need to go back to like the correct rules. You don't get to go out to like concerts and shit like that. And when a jumbotron come on, you supposed to sit the fuck down and look away. You see what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to do none of that. Y'all supposed to, if you want to go out to dinner, you supposed to go 3 towns over. You know what I'm saying? You ain't supposed to be in the same town because anybody can see y'all. You're supposed to bring back secrecy. If you gonna be in these streets and you don't want nobody to know your dirt, y'all got to move smart. You got to move like a 007 agent. You got to. Otherwise, this is gonna keep happening. And I'm not gonna feel sorry for any one of y'all because girl, Kelsey, what you doing with him? I hope he ain't promised you nothing for your job. I swear I hope he didn't. And I hope, like I said, I want the onus to be on him. Right? Because from her viewpoint, yeah, it was wrong for you to sleep with a married man because obviously I knew that you knew that he was married, but I'm still saying that married man, I put blame on both, but if I had to divvy up how much blame, 75% going on that man and the rest goes on the person because why? Just why would you want to entertain that? Why? But like I said, some of y'all do shit for the plot, so maybe she was doing it for the plot. I don't know. Maybe she needed a good Pinterest story or a TikTok story. The point is, I don't know how this is going to play out, but I hope the wife gets you for everything you got. If she chooses to stay. If she doesn't choose to stay. If she chooses to stay there, well, then I take this out my love corner. Because I don't love it if they're not getting a divorce and she's not taking him for everything. If she's not raking him over the coals. I don't love it. But that's all I got for my love corner. Some of them, now I have to add a special addition to my love corner. And the honorable mention to my love corner is Christopher Maurice beat him up, black and blue brown. Right. So y'all remember in 2023 when Christopher was at a nightclub and he got into an altercation with someone at the nightclub. I don't know if it was a fan or not. He got into an altercation with this person and then proceeded to beat this person up and then proceeded to chase them all around the club and hit them in the head with a bottle and again caused grievous harm. Right. I had no idea how quickly after said incident Chris Brown left and fled his ass back to America. But at some point later, either in like the next year or within a few months after that, I'm not 100% sure, he went back to the UK, and then that's when they arrested him and they charged him with serious charges being assault and attempting to cause grievous bodily charge. That is what they have it as, and I'm sure there's some other ones too, but that's just what was listed in the article that I had read about it. So now, fast forward to 2026, Christopher Maurice Brown has pled guilty. Why did he plead guilty? I know what some of you are going to say. He didn't do it. Babes, there's video footage of him literally running around that goddamn club, beating that man up and hitting him with the bottle. He couldn't deny it if he wanted to. Now, he could try to do like R. Kelly did when confronted with that video where he did to that 13-year-old girl and say that it was his twin. But nope, we know his mama only gave birth to one demon named Christopher Maurice beat him up Brown. Right? She didn't give birth to two. And honestly, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Right? So why do I love this? Because I love seeing him being held accountable. Right? He only pled guilty because he had no other choice, and he pled guilty so the serious charges of assault and attempting to cause grievous bodily charge were dropped because those carried actual, you got to sit your ass down in prison. Now, the other charges he has, I'm not 100% sure if he will be sitting his ass down in prison, but this does make the Usher and Chris Brown tour a little unpredictable because depending on when they sentence him and depending on what the sentence is, he may miss part, if not the whole last half of the tour. Maybe, maybe not. The point is, you play stupid ass games, you win stupid prizes. I'm not gonna feel sorry for you. I love this for you because you keep doing dumb shit. You keep being stupid. You keep being abusive. You keep being violent, and then you keep thinking that like you can get away with it, and you've gotten away with it multiple times. And I'm glad that at least another country like, no, we ain't playing with your bitch ass. Good, good, good. Now, will Christopher see this? No, because he blocked me. Yeah, I found that out because I remember I was watching this girl's video popped up on my TikTok. She was talking about how she made a critique about his album. She didn't dislike the album, but she just made one little critique. And that was around the time that he was being all sensitive because everybody said the album was terrible, which it fucking was. And he just don't like to listen to it because, again, in order for the music to evolve, you have to evolve as a person. So if you still stuck in 2009 and 2010 for when you first caught the charges of being a violent pizza, okay, that's probably why your music still sound that same too. Honestly, Chris Brown's music reminds me of them dudes' profiles that have nothing but of them sexual little memes or whatever, like a guy laying on the bed with a girl and rubbing her booty and shit like that, or the little sex meme stuff. Like that's what his music gives. People who stuck in that mindset, that's exactly the reason why. And Chris is still stuck in that mindset. But like I said, he was getting upset about that, and she had just made a comment on the album or whatever, but she wasn't fully dragging the album. She still said she was a fan. He blocked her. So then one of my friends tagged me in it and said, well, if he blocked her over something this goddamn petty, you done talked plenty of Cash Money shit about him, and you done gone viral a few times for talking your Cash Money shit about that man. So I know that he is more than likely blocked you by now. And so I said, let me go see. Because I never go to Christopher page, and I ain't following Christopher. He ain't following me, obviously. So I go to his page, it don't show up. I said, nah, I'm tripping. Because I genuinely am like, ain't no... Truthfully, I don't be thinking that nobody ever important be listening to this shit. Truthfully, I really don't. I know what you're thinking, that people like, well, anyone can share it to them. You don't know who watching your shit. You're right, I don't. But again, in my brain, they not seeing this shit. Because why the fuck would you be caring about what I gotta say? Who am I? I'm just a girl who's in her corner. And yeah, whose name happens to be Capri. Oh, okay. So like, you know what I mean? Why would y'all, be coming over here to hate on me? That's just, I don't think that, right? So now I go to my burner. And I type in his thing. Showing up, his official TikTok page show up on the burner. But when I go to my regular page, it's gone. I said, I just want to know, Maurice, what did it? What post did it? Which one did it? Which one did you see? Which one did you see? Did you see the one where I said that it will never be Chris Brown? He's never going to be mainstream till he calms the fuck down. Was that one? Or was it when I told you that you try to convince yourself that, like, your music isn't terrible when it is? That's because much like you keep chasing different Caruchis in different forms and then keep creating unstable broken homes, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, thinking you'll get the same result. You keep thinking you find you a Karuchi look like you gonna remake Karuchi, and Karuchi gone, baby. Right? Same thing. He don't like moving. But he a Taurus. They stuck. They don't like it. I tell you this as Taurus moon. I don't like change either. So that man who a Taurus down, I believe his birth chart is Taurus the fuck up. Oh hell no, he don't like change. He ain't never gonna change. And so that's why this is what you get. You don't want to change. You're gonna keep getting these little hiccups. You're gonna keep being reminded. Everyone keep being reminded of the stuff that you do because you don't want to sit down and actually act like you got some sense. I know you're thinking this was a 2023. It's been 3 years. Yeah, and again, I have no faith in that man. Y'all have the faith in the world, but when he make it 10 years without a single incident and it's only been nothing but positive, then I shut my goddamn mouth. Till then, my name is Capri, and thank you for sitting in my love corner with me. My next section, and we call this "Didn't Nobody Ask Me But." Right now, "Didn't Nobody Ask Me But" is really just random stuff that I've seen on like social media and stuff like that. That there's not necessarily anyone's really talking about it. You know what I mean? Maybe some people are talking about it, but it's just small, right? Or maybe I've noticed it and I want to say something. So didn't nobody ask me about it, but I'm finna tell y'all my opinion anyway. Right. That's why it's called "Didn't Nobody Ask Me But." Right. Okay, so I don't know if you know who this is. Naruto Maki 07. Somewhere up here gonna be a picture. Right. He's on TikTok. And it's obvious that he is neurodivergent. That's obvious, right? And I ain't got an issue with that. What I got issue with is I think my Naruto Maki, is you in the race play? That's what it's giving, baby. That's what it's giving, baby. I'm trying to hold your hand when I say this. I understand you want your white king. Who your parents? Who his parents? Somebody right now just give me a picture of his mom and dad. Give me a picture of his mom and dad. I need to know because he could have 4 black parents or he can only have 2. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure it out. Where the lustful demon for white chocolate is coming from. You see what I'm saying? The lust. I'm trying to figure out what it is. That or he could have 4. You see what I'm saying? He could have 4. But they went to predominantly. And I'm telling y'all, I've been said folk. Deontay Kyle told you, and I'm gonna tell you somebody who also grew up in the suburbs. It do something to you psychologically. And if you don't actively fight to get up out of there, if you don't actively claw your way up out that mindset, you turn into a version of that new Rizzuto Maki. I'm just saying. Now he's real far down the well. Also, his aesthetic is very much anime. He does the Naruto run and everything. So like there's also that layer to it, which is fine. I fully enjoy that side of him because I think it's innocent. I think it's fun. And he trying to have a good time. So I have less interest in the fact that like he be teaching people how to do the moves. Because sure enough, teach them so they can stay prepared, so they stay ready, man. I appreciate you. You do your big one. But I need you to leave the white men alone. Naruto Maki, I need you to leave the white man alone. I need you to leave him alone. We can find you a nice, strong black king. I see the way that he said it about the white man. Then the other white man, he talking about, was it surfer dude, beach dude? I don't know. He ain't ugly looking, but he was like, yeah, I think he's a beautiful white chocolate king. I said, Naruto Maki, just Maki, stop it, no. And I know what you're thinking. It's wrong to be interracial love. It ain't nothing wrong with interracial relationship, but I know what type of white man coming to him. I know the type. Because trust and believe, when I was never in his shoes. Let me be clear. I dated white men, but was I ever happy over that? No, because I was always aware, thank my mama. I was always aware that white people be on fuck shit. And every time I tried to date a white man, he would be on fuck shit. He would say the little slick shit, and I would peep it, and then be like, yeah, no. Because I slapped the fuck out you, and I know that means you more like you got it from you got their mama and your daddy and grandpappy. I'll beat their ass just like I'll beat yours. So we can just go ahead and end it now. Like same thing when it comes to dealing with Latinos and Asian folks. I'm telling you right now, you could be unracist all you want, but I'll beat the brakes off your mama. Beat the brakes off your grandmama, your auntie, your sister. I don't care. Because it's 2026. We're not going to play the game. If you want to play stupid, I'm going to I'm gonna play stupider. I don't know how to talk. That's all I know how to do. So that's the reason why for me, it never worked out for white men. And then also it was the area that I lived in, because like, not saying that the niggas didn't like me in my area, they didn't. But when I went to Georgia, I was like, oh, I was just around the wrong type, because it was black man central, and that's always been home, right? I just need him. I was somebody, a black blur who sees his stuff and you're close by him. Take him under your wing. Take him under your wing. Don't get rid of the anime stuff. We like that. We like that. Keep that. That's a personality, make him unique. I like it. Little sprinkle of something different, right? I like that. But get him around some niggas immediately. Tell him he can still do Naruto. He can still be Naruto Maki 07. He can be Naruto Maki 07. He can still do that. He can still do it. We just gotta get you around some niggas. And I need to see that household. I need to see who in that household with him, because it's given. Oh, okay. I'm just saying. I know what type of white man be running up to him, because I had a couple of them trying to hit me up before. Like, and it ended immediately. Like, I remember one time I was making out with this white man, and he just kept talking about my skin tone to the point to just get so uncomfortable. He's like, I just love your beautiful, like, black skin and those beautiful, like, dark, full lips. Oh my God, I just love your blackness. You're just so black, and I'm just so white, and this contrast on our skin. And I'm like, and he just kept calling me like like it was beautiful black queen, and it wasn't sexy. It was very much like, is this a, like, he grabbing and pawing and looking at my arms and shit. I feel like he's gonna start measuring me, because he's gonna put me on a goddamn auction block. And then when I'm like, you know what, I think it's time for me to go. I'm a little uncomfortable. I'm gonna go ahead and take my coochie and go. He gonna text me later and talk about like, would you like ever, have you heard about race play before? And I said, huh? He said, yeah, like, would you let me ever do that? Like, call you that? And then there's an app that I used to be on, right? It's a red app with a little heart, start with an F. Those of you who know. Those of you who don't, that means you don't need to be on there. All right, so that's why you don't know. Okay. And on there, girl, if you a black woman on that goddamn site, I'm telling you, the men coming at you hot and heavy, talking about and then when you look at what they into and things they be following, race play be right up in there, and that's exactly what they want to do. They want to call you that. It's very rare that, like, I've been hit on that site by white men that's into that, that's actually been like, no, I want you to degrade me. Like, I want you to call me a dirty, you say, pasty bastard, and tell me how I'll never live up to. And again, I'm not here to have to play out white men's fantasies about black dick and their cuckold fantasies. I truly don't. I don't have time. And I'm telling you right now, white men are way obsessed with black men penises way more than you think. I'm telling you right now, from the white friends that I've had, and how they'll sit and like, they will ask their white women, like, have you ever been with a black man? And if the answer is yes, and they don't immediately break up with you, then they become obsessed with like, I never compared to him, right? Like, you know, like I can't do it like he do it, right? Like, he better than me at it, right? They're obsessed. So that's the reason why I say I know what I'm looking at. And somebody go get Naruto Maki. Go get him. Go get him right now. Go get him right now. I don't know. I don't think he's safe. I don't think he's safe. But didn't nobody ask me, but that's just how I feel. Okay. Next is, you know, Tyler Leppies got married. Now, if you don't know who Tyler Leppies is, he played in P Valley, the security guard. He also played in Tyler Perry's The Have and the Have Nots. Those are the two things that I know him from. I think he's also played in some other stuff, but that's just what I know him from. But like, he's fine. Yeah, he's not ugly. He's fine. Right? So like, he had a baby mama who used to be his manager, and they were together for years. She had 2 kids by him and all this sort of stuff. And he finally got put on by being with Tyler Perry. And then eventually got put on to P Valley. But when he got to P Valley, he met his now wife. I don't know her name, truthfully, but she played in P Valley. She played one of them girls. They had a little scene together, and after that scene, or when they was making that scene, that is when they started their little relationship. And eventually, he leaves his baby mama for her. And then it gets weird, because I guess the now wife, she was calling they kids her kids, and the lady was like, I don't remember seeing them in your uterus. I don't remember none of that. They're not your kids or whatever. They're my kids, and you know what I mean. You're just the stepmom or whatever. And then she made like her little sly remark back about like I'm not gonna do this sort of stuff over the internet. You have my phone number, but it's good to see that you know how to communicate. And like I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna be real. I'm a little biased, and I'm on the baby mama side. I am. And the reason why I even mention this is because apparently, like I said, Tyler and the girl, they've officially gotten married, and the baby mama deactivated her Instagram. Now, we could speculate and say she deactivated because she didn't want all them comments, people asking her about how she feel about the marriage and stuff like that. So I get it. Protect your peace however you need to protect your peace, ma'am. But what I'm gonna say is, as far as that little comment that I seen, the little interaction that they had, it just rubs me the wrong way because like I know women that do stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. Like I know women who be like, "Oh my God, I'm just trying to be the stepmom. I'm just trying to be the girlfriend," and then like test boundaries. Like they really want to be the mom too, and they be irritated at the fact that like they can't be the mom, and they be irritated at the fact that they can't be the first mom. That's really what it is. And they be like the same way that Tia off of the game when Derwin had that baby, and then she was obsessed with getting married first and obsessed with like planning the wedding and making sure that he was all involved with it because she couldn't be the first woman to give him his child, so she needed to be the first woman to be his wife. Right? That's essentially how I feel about that situation between them two. I feel like I'm not saying that she don't have kids of her own because I really don't know if she has kids of her own, but she don't have kids with him. And like she did get him by cheating. They cheated together, right? And I know in the back of a smart hoe's mind, and I'm giving her credit, you know what I'm saying? I know in the back of a smart hoe's mind, you know that if you got him by cheating, your time is limited. You ain't got much time, right? Now you might, when I say much time, you could get 30 years out the man, but eventually, unless he really, really love you, it come a knocking and history will repeat itself. So like I'm not saying that they don't, and I think that they do have kids, but like to me, it just feels like you are trying to establish yourself as the mom too. And if y'all have kids together, you already have kids with him, but you're not the first mom. Like you're not the first one. You just the second wife. You the first wife, but you the second baby mom. And some women feel the type of way about that. I don't know. Something about it I just don't trust. And I could be 100% wrong here, but my intuition, and she rarely be wrong, I just be early. Like I bet you when they first got together, she was doing little stuff like just overly trying to establish the fact that she is the girlfriend now. And like to other people who aren't privy or don't know or who don't peep shit, it looked like she's just being a sweet, nice person and she's just trying not to have drama. But the whole time she be the drama. She be the motherfucking drama. And only those who have been in them type of situations know what the fuck I mean. But that's personally how I see it. You ain't got to agree with me. I told y'all. Didn't nobody ask me, but I gave my opinion anyway. Next thing I'm going to talk about is I seen y'all hollering about the Lotto OK music video and how it is giving Mandingo fights. Right? Meaning because she got two light skins, Doja and her, and then she got a sea full of dark skinned black men in the back. And it's wild because yo baby daddy not even dark skinned. He brown skin. So like, where is the brown skins at? That's all I'm saying. Like, it is a theme, and I don't know who's responsible for it. Like, I don't know if it's the people, if it's Lotto herself who said, "Oh yeah, I want only dark black men in it," so then we can have that contrast, or was it the people? Was it her team? Either way, it just don't give. It just is. Right? It just is. I'm not necessarily over. Am I mad about it? I'm a little irritated, a little miffed. Like, ooh, here we go again. Because it's the same trope. They always do that with light skins. They it'd be a light skin in the front and then dark skin in the back. They always do that. Or like if the person is dark skinned and they have a sea of light skin baddies around them because they feel like, they say it's for color contrast, but really it's just anti-blackness. That's it. Only one person can be the dark skinned person. And if the star happens to be dark skinned, then we can't have a sea of dark skins in there. We gotta have a sea of light. Same thing with the light skins. If the light skins is light, then we got to have a sea of darkness to really pop the fact that they light. And on top of the fact that they was also wearing like highly light colors and stuff like that. I don't know. Again, it is giving that, whether or not they did it intentionally like that or not, that's what it's giving. So all I'm saying is people just got to be aware of things. Y'all got to be aware of the optics. Light skinned folks, y'all got to be aware of the optics of how like y'all benefit from light skin privilege, and a lot of things is rooted in colorism. Not necessarily saying that like y'all are actively consciously doing it, but these are things to be aware of. These are things to be like, when you look around the room and then you see that you're the only light one there, and then all of your dancers are dark skinned, that's when you should say, hey, can we switch, like, let's add some more in here, because we should have some diversity. It shouldn't just be extreme one end light and extreme one end dark, because that's how it be. There's never a fucking middle. There's never a fucking middle. And that's what I'm asking for. There's got to be a middle. That's it. Now, does Lotto give a shit? No. She don't give a shit what we talking about. So, but I do agree with y'all when I say that I see the colorism in it. And that's be kind of my issue sometimes with light skins, is that they really genuinely think that, like, even my mama, she light skinned. And I had to tell her too. I said, ma'am, you experienced bullying, which was wrong. And they shouldn't have bullied you because of your skin color or your skin tone or how light it was. But it was not colorism. Because in fact, literally everything in your life and things that you benefited from, colorism played in your favor. You were a black woman, but you were a light-skinned black woman, so therefore less of a threat. They saw the femininity in you. Still black, still gonna hold you to misogynoir, but you're aesthetically pleasing. You don't look too scary to the customers, right? I know y'all don't like to admit that fact, but it just is. The world is built off, the United States is built off of racism. The United States is built off of colorism. The United States is built off of fat phobia. The United States is built off of homophobia. The United States is built off of ableism. The United States is built off of capitalism. The United States is built off of fucking everybody over. So yes, you being light skinned is a benefit, and it always works in your favor, even if you don't think it do. So all we asking from you, light brights, is that you put on your thinking caps when you do shit, right? So then we can stop saying that you're color struck, and we can start saying, oh, that was a good music video, and then we don't have to do this. You see how easy that was? But, again, what do I know? Didn't nobody ask me, but that's my opinion. Now, let's do a little bit of news. This is the news corner, right? So these are just some things that I read over the week that I found interesting, right? First one is, it's only about two. The first one is the Cuba blockade. I have not heard anything about this. I know that we have done, I know that we did block them, and I know that they did go without electricity. But again, because things are being suppressed over here and we don't hear about the stuff, I knew it was happening, but to see the New York Times post on TikTok, and I watched their TikTok article about it, and to see them there in Cuba, and to see how the people are not thriving and barely surviving. They are surviving, but those are not conditions that anyone should have to survive in. There's literally no lights. At night, everyone stays up, essentially. They were interviewing a lady, and she has 4 kids. She said on average, they get 3, maybe 4 hours of sleep. They don't even sleep on their bed anymore because it's just that hot that the bed creates so much heat that they just put blankets on a concrete floor, and that's where they sleep. Right. So then, because they couldn't necessarily sleep because it was so hot, the only time that her kids get relief is if she takes something like this and goes like this. They literally showed her going like this to her children because there's no air conditioning, because there's no air. So then during the day she was saying that she collects water, she cleans, cooks food and stuff like that, because at night you can't do any of that because you can't see. And she did also have to start trying to make some money, but because she didn't want to leave her kids at home, because obviously it's pitch black outside, why would I want to just leave my kids unattended? Right? So then they start selling coffee. So literally they're selling coffee shots to people, and everyone's doing this. The majority of the people there are getting on average 3 hours of sleep. And this is all because of our administration is blocking oil from coming through to them, because our administration actively wants to destroy them. The same way that our administration wants to destroy the genocide that's happening in Gaza and is actively destroying those people. They want to do it over in Cuba too. And I've been said this before, they setting it up for y'all next. That is why when y'all say things like what happens overseas does not matter to me, it should, because 9 out of 10 times, honestly, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 times, 11 out of 10 times, the fuck shit going on overseas, I promise you, we have our hand in it some way, somehow, whether it be directly we said it, we did it, Or we indirectly got a toe in that motherfucker and we may have put the money there and stirred the pot, but technically it wasn't us. It was them, but with our money. You see what I'm saying? Like that's how that shit works. And so they convince y'all that like you don't gotta care about what's happening over here because it will never be you when they're just testing over here because you've already said that y'all care about shithole African countries. You've already said that you don't care about what is it like poor Indian countries. Y'all have already said that you don't care because you only care about stuff that's going on in America, and they said bet. Don't worry about what's going on over here so we can fuck them up, destabilize, do all that sort of stuff, make them poor, have them living off of, pillar to post. So then when it happened over here, y'all gonna be like, well, how did we get here? How did we get here? Cause y'all think what y'all think gonna happen? Cause like they're blocking the oil from coming through, but now ain't no oil, wouldn't no oil be able to get through even if they wasn't blocking it? Because why? Strait of Hormuz is closed. Why is gas slowly creeping up? Because the Strait of Hormuz is closed and they're not opening it. Nobody can get any oil out. Right? And so the blockade that is now making it pitch black over there, I can't tell you if it's going to get pitch black over here, but what I can tell you is gas going to skyrocket and everybody going to be sitting their ass at home, or everybody going to have to carpool. Now y'all going to have to band together and like work together to fix that one car because y'all can't afford all y'all cars to be running out here with gas when gas is $7-8. One, I've been told y'all before, Parable and Sour is exactly where we at, but obviously Parable and Talents. That's truthfully where I think we are at. Parable of the Sour feels like, for us, it feels switched. Parable of the Talents feels like first, and then Parable of the Sour feels like last, meaning that like what happens at the end of Parable of the Sour, like still it's the road we get to the Parable of the Sour, but the end, what we see in Parable of the Talents, I feel like that's the end, and then we could move forward and rebuild. But like right now, we in the pure destructive part, or maybe we are in Parable of the Sour. But honestly, that's why I'm really just trying to say they're melded together. Right. And the things that are happening in Cuba, the things that are happening overseas do affect us. And this is fucked. It's just fucked. And I just wanted to let y'all know that, like, I know y'all are like, well, we don't hear about this stuff. That's the point. Why would a country that makes its money destabilizing other countries tell you that like we're fucking over another country, or at least put it on a daily, nightly news to remind you all the time that we are responsible for why Cuba doesn't have oil and why the children are sitting in darkness? That's why you don't know. So that's why I'm telling you. And it's sad. And I just want to bring awareness. Right? On top of the fact, let's bring awareness to the Congo. On top of the fact, let's bring awareness to Sudan. On top of the fact, let's bring awareness to what's happening in Gaza. On top of the fact, let's bring awareness to all of the tragedies that are currently happening all over the world and how we should care more as a people. That's it. That's my call to action for it. We should care more. Y'all should actively go out of your way to figure out what is going on. And if you can't do that by like through the American sources, there are ways for you to read international news and for you to get unbiased reporting on what is actually happening. Y'all cannot keep putting your head in the sand anymore because things are about to ramp the fuck up. Things are about to ramp the fuck up, and putting your head in the sand is essentially how you're going to put yourself in 6 feet. Because this country was never meant for you. This country was never meant for anyone that essentially wasn't a cis rich white man. That's it. That's all. This country was always a white ethno state, and it will bring itself back to such. And that's what's currently happening. And what is happening in Cuba and what is happening all over the world is just the blueprint for what will happen to y'all next. So you need to read. You need to pay attention. That's it. That's all. Right. So also the next thing that I wanted to talk about. So in Illinois, where I stay, and it's not Illinois, it's Illinois. Please stop pronouncing the S. All right. So Pritzker signs an amendatory act called SB 3341. Right. Now, a lot of y'all are saying that it is a new law. It is not a new law. What I said was it's an amendatory act. And now what is an amending? It is amending the Birth Control Services to Minors Act of 1965. When that was written, there were loopholes in it that allowed for parental consent to be needed, right? And so what this SB 3341 law or act is doing is removing those loops. All right. Now, a lot of y'all who live in Illinois will hollering about the fact that, like, does this cover abortion? No, because the HB 370 Youth Health Safety Act covers abortions, and that happened in 2021, which it repealed the Parental Notice of Abortion Act of 1995, right? So since 2021, your minor has been allowed to go to Planned Parenthood without your consent and receive an abortion, right? So this does not, the SB 3341 bill does not cover abortions. This is just adding to the things that kids can do. This is just adding to the Birth Control Services and Minors Act of 1969. That's all it's doing, right? Meaning that your, let's say 14, 15-year-old comes into a Planned Parenthood and they want condoms. Let's say they want to get on the actual, like, Depo-Provera or the shot. The shot, or they want to take the pill, or they want an IUD, right? The doctor does not need your consent, does not need to call you. We'll talk to that child, we'll inform them of the things they need to be informed about, and we'll go ahead and give them those things. And I do not see why anyone has an issue with this. I don't understand why. Well, I understand it's Facebook, right? It is. But I've also seen a few of you guys on threads too. I don't understand what you're upset about, because no, you as a parent do not have a right to keep your child from protecting themselves and taking charge of their sexual health. You don't. Y'all need to understand that your parental rights are a thing, but they have limits, right? I think it's wild for you to sit and say that they're infringing on my parental rights because the state is telling you that your kid has a right to be able to protect themselves in sex. Y'all don't want to have conversations with your kids about sex. Let's start there. Every single time, and don't act like I'm wrong, because every single time we sit and have this conversation, or when young black kids talk to their parents about sex, what their parents either do one of two things: A, accusing them of doing it, because why you asking questions if you ain't doing it, or B, don't worry about that, you not old enough, just don't be out here doing it, right? Y'all don't want to have questions, don't want to have conversations. Y'all don't even want to have conversations about simple conversations about what gay people are. And then you wonder why your 15-year-old got called to the office and he in trouble because he used a slur to a queer person, to a queer kid he saw at school, because you don't want to have conversations, and you also treat queer people terribly. It's the same thing here. Y'all don't want to have conversations, but then be shocked when your 14-year-old tell you, I got gonorrhea. Right? You be shocked that you find out that your 16-year-old had a train ran on her, because we didn't have conversations about what safe sex looked like, what, you know, see what I'm saying? We didn't have any of these conversations. And again, I'm not saying that you can protect them from everything, but also just making sure they're safe is something, for me as a parent, that's what all I'm concerned about. I could tell my son or daughter till they blue in the face, I would prefer that you wait till you in college before you do it. I would prefer you wait till you married. Now, I don't really prefer that. I'm just saying, I could tell them that until they blue in the face. But if my children decide at 16, 17, 14 years old that they are ready, they are going to do it, because that's another thing. Y'all act like we wasn't fucking in high school. Y'all act like y'all wasn't fucking in junior high. You see what I'm saying? And y'all act like STDs wasn't running around then. I remember my high school sent out a letter because chlamydia was running around the school. And y'all want to get upset because Illinois said no. Let the teenager go get the goddamn condoms. So that we don't got to worry about no 16-year-old being pregnant. We don't got to worry about no 16-year-old with ureaplasma. We don't got to worry about no 16-year-old with constant chlamydia infections. And y'all, because y'all just want to control kids. That's the problem. Y'all don't actively, y'all want to control kids. Y'all don't actively want to teach your children. You just want to keep them deaf and stupid like your ass. You don't want them to be aware of nothing. You don't want them to see anything that's going on in the world. You just want them to follow what you say, and that's it. That's all. And that's not what this is. And I don't care about how y'all feel about abortions. Your 16-year-old doesn't have to carry a baby just because you don't believe in abortions. I would never force my child to have an abortion. Now, I would let her know all her options and realities of how difficult it's going to be if you choose to have said baby. I'm going to help you the best way I can. But it's still going to be a rough hill that you're going to have to climb. Right? Same with the boy. It's going to be a rough hill you're going to have to climb. Right? And whatever that girl's decision is, that's her decision. You ain't got nothing to do with it. So, But if it's my daughter, I'm be real. But if my daughter came to me and said I don't want to have it, I'm not gonna force her, right? Because that's her choice. That's her body. She has the autonomy to make the choices. And that'd be my thing. Y'all act like kids can't make choices. But the only choice that a kid can make is being straight. That's the only choice that y'all are okay with a kid making. Any other choice? No, they don't know what kind of food they like. They can't tell me that. They don't know what kind of TV shows they want to watch. They don't know about what clothes they want to wear. They don't know about none of that. But the one thing that they're allowed to be able to say is if they're straight. But if they tell you they're gay, oh, no, they don't know what they mean. They don't know what they mean. They're just confused. But if they say they're straight, oh, they know that 100%. That's a fact. Right? Y'all are stupid. That's it. That's the reason why I don't. That's the reason why I don't believe in homeschooling at all. I don't believe homeschooling should exist at all. I believe that y'all need to keep your kids in the school, but I also believe we need to be funding the schools. But that's also the reason why I believe the private schools shouldn't fucking exist. Because ain't no fucking way you gonna tell me that you gonna keep away good education because some motherfuckers paying $40,000 a month. Education shouldn't be kept away. We shouldn't be blocking off no education. Education is right. Same way that food is right and shelter is right. Being educated is right. You have a right to know your rights. You have a right to know what is going on. You have a right to be able to read a book and be able to parse information together using your own brain, not what somebody else is telling you it says, because then that's how you get mind control. That's how you get manipulated. And that's exactly what y'all want to do to these goddamn kids, because you don't want to have conversations with them. So therefore you get mad when the government is like, oh no, we gonna take it a step in our hands. Because protecting kids is a community effort. It ain't just you. It's not. That's my issue, is that we don't treat kids like they are their own people. We treat them as if they are extensions of us. And they may look like you, but guess what? It's not you. It's not. It just looked like you. And so no, as a parent, I am happy he made that goddamn bill of law. I'm happy. I'm happy. That means, guess what? They get to learn how to make their own doctor's appointment. Sure enough, dude, you got to go in there and you want to talk about all that sort of stuff? Yes. Call up there, make your appointment. I'll sit out there with you. I won't go in there with you. You don't want me to go in there, but I'll sit out there with you. I'll do that. I don't have a problem. I want my kids safe. Like I said, I can tell my daughter, I can tell my son blue in the face, please don't. But if they do, they won't. If they want to, they will. And so I would feel much safer and have much better sleep at night, knowing that my child is safe from pregnancy. My child is at least safe from STDs because they have condoms on them, right? And that's another thing. Y'all need to be teaching your goddamn daughters that pulling out a goddamn condom is not dirty. You should, because you should not be relying on that man for your sexual health. Real sexual liberated baddies have condoms. Real sexually liberated baddies make sure they have a birth control of some kind. Extra sexually liberated baddies make sure they have an IUD, because if you have ADHD, taking them pills every day, that's a challenging feat. All right, so we got to make it easier. You got to work with what your reality is. That's all I'm gonna say, right? I don't think that it's a wrong law to have. I don't think it's a bad bill to have. In fact, we need to take it a step further and let's also do something about how the fact that STDs are on the rise. And that's exactly why they're doing this, because STDs are on the rise, because y'all don't even like using condoms. That's my thing. Y'all want to teach kids, you want to pass on your terrible sex practices. You want to pass on your shitty ass sex practices. That's another thing. And we can talk about this at a later time, but I'm getting your ass just for a quick second about this buy man conversation, because y'all be the same motherfuckers talking about that you care about your sexual health, because that's the reason why you won't sleep with a bi man, but the same girl that's out here hunching on that straight man raw. First time you link with him, you hunched him raw. And that, hey, you want to hunch him raw, that's fine. But like I said, is it safe? No. Are you opening yourself up to risk and diseases? Yes. But also there's shame around that. That's another thing. Like, y'all claim to care about your sexual health, but you don't, because you fuck straight men raw. And let me be clear, that straight man is the reason why you can't get rid of that yeast infection. That straight man is the reason why you walk around here, you plasma. That straight man is the reason why BV and a UTI are your best motherfucking friends. All right? So let's be clear, right? Y'all don't have good sexual health practices, and you want to pass that on to your kids next. That's how we keep getting STIs rising. And then the shame that y'all bring to people who do have STIs and STDs, instead of treating it as something that happens when you have sex. The same way that you ride a bike and you could fall and cut your knee, same way when you have sex, you can get gonorrhea. Because it's a thing. The fluids pass. It's just a thing. Doesn't mean you're a terrible person. Doesn't mean that you're a slut. Doesn't mean that you're a hoe. Just means That's what happens when you have sex, right? But when we have these conversations around sex with our kids, when we have these conversations around why having an STD is not shameful, right? Then we can actually move better in a better direction as society, right? But y'all don't want to do that. Instead, you want to continue the same toxic, shitty traditions that the generation before us carried and the generation before that carried. The definition of insanity is doing the same motherfucking thing over and over again, thinking you're gonna get different results, and you don't. But thanks for sitting in my news corner with me. So let's step in and let's go ahead and start to wrap this show right on up. Now, this is my irritated corner. Now, my irritated corner is a corner filled with things that I've seen throughout the week that has irritated me, right? And so I was gonna have Jim Jones in this, but I already said something about him at the top. So you escaped. Not really. But I will be discussing the bonnet ban. So earlier in the week, Tuskegee University, a very popular HBCU, had made a ban on bonnets. You could not wear bonnets out on the quad, like walking to class, couldn't wear them in class. And I think the only place that like they can wear them is in the lunchroom. And I think that's it. But like they can't go to class like that because they said they want to focus on having professionalism on campus. And I'm truly sick of y'all. I'm truly sick of y'all. Let me explain something to you. If y'all think that wearing a bonnet means that somebody is not educated, it means that somebody is not professional, it means that somebody doesn't care about themselves, let me tell you something right now. Y'all would hate me, right? Because let me tell you what I do when I go DoorDash and I don't feel like wearing a goddamn bra. These tickle bitties be just flapping in the wind like flapjacks, no bra. Swing low, sweet chariot. That's exactly what the fuck be happening when I go out there, right? I also will go out there and DoorDash for the bonnet on my head. But if you think that that means that I'm ratchet, if you think that that means that I'm ghetto, if you think that that means I got 18 kids with 17 different baby daddies, if you think that means I don't know what 2 + 2 is, that's a you problem. That is indicative of how you view people, not me. And that's not my problem. And I do stuff like that because as a Black woman, I am sick and tired of having to dress, having to talk, having to look a certain way in order to be deemed worthy of respect, in order to be deemed a good Black girl. I don't want to be a good Black girl. I don't. So if me wearing a bonnet means I'm a bad Black girl, sign me the fuck up. I don't want to be a good Black girl. I don't want to be a Black girl that is held down by the idea that wearing a bonnet in public is just shameful. Is it from the shame of the fact that like they used to make us hide our hair? So now you're like, you got to show it all the time and it always has to be done all the time. Is that what y'all are thinking? Because no. I am tired of always having to present myself, and I'm tired of y'all using these pretty laws and then saying that it's just professionalism. It's not. It's not. It's because you want women to perform for you. That's what you want. You want women to perform for you. You want them to look good all the time, or to at least, you want them to look good all the time. Because I promise you, if it was me, I come out there with my hair looking a mess. You want me to be out my bonnet? Cool. You can see what it looked like when my bonnet's off. That's what I would do. Come in there with a whole nice little outfit on, hair looking a mess. You said don't wear the bonnet. I didn't feel like doing my hair today. Right? Like, why is it that like y'all think that just because someone put something on their body that means that they're stupid, that means that they're dumb, that means they don't know anything? And that is not the case at all. It's just not. And like we rehashed this conversation 70 different ways this Sunday. So that's the reason why like there isn't much else for me to say other than it's very weird at a time when college is more unaffordable than it ever has been before. You would do something that could affect your admission rates. Right? You're going to go out of your way to tell kids what they can't do at your campus when the only thing they have to do with your campus is go to school. That's the requirement. It shouldn't be you got to go to school and you got to wear a polo. And you got to have nice country club shoes. And you got to wear a nice 18 to 20 inch bust down, straight or body wave. Because that's the only way that we seem you attractive. Because that's another thing too. When we get into this bonnet conversation, y'all say it's because you want to see the hair, but you only want to see certain type of hair too. Right? Like the girl with the 4C hair that keeps it in the small little bun. Y'all don't want to see that because then you would clown that. And then you would say, oh, well, you need to wear a wig. You need to make it look better than that. This is just about, again, policing Black women. This is just, again, y'all using white supremacist talking points and tactics and putting it on your own people, because all y'all really want to be is just black white people. Meaning y'all want white supremacy, but with black people's faces. That's it. That's why so many of y'all so gung-ho about capitalism, and like all I gotta do is start a business in an LLC and I'll have the American dream. Because the only thing y'all really want is just to attain white supremacy for yourself. You want to be the oppressor. And you'll never be the oppressor. It doesn't matter how well you talk. It don't matter how well you dress. It don't matter how many MBAs you get. It don't matter what rooms you in, Jay-Z. You are still just a nigger. Newsflash, in case you didn't know. It don't matter what you do, you still just a nigger. Even though Jay-Z in them rooms, I promise you, the second he walk out them rooms, somebody call him the N-word, because they still don't like him because he's black. They tolerate you for your money, but they still hate you for your skin tone. So it does not matter what private school you put your child in, your black child with all of them white kids. It doesn't matter that if you walk out here every single day with your hair nice, sleek back and done, and you never wear a bonnet, and you never use a bonnet, and you always are acting with respectability politics, you are still a nigger. It's harsh, but it needs to be said. Because that y'all walk around here like somehow that is not. You will never be able to outrun or outwin white supremacy. The only way to beat it is to eat it, burn it to the ground. But y'all are too busy trying to put the coat on instead of ripping it up. And so that's the reason why you have dumbass universities like Tuskegee making stupid ass decisions to harm kick to go out of their way to bother kids about a motherfucking bonnet. You weird as fuck. Y'all, everyone on that goddamn board who was responsible for that goddamn decision, even the head admin, the dean, all of you weird ass bitches. Weird as fuck. And I hope you know the ancestors not looking kindly down upon you. All y'all describe yourselves to W.E.B. Du Bois, and then and think that we gonna get somewhere. How far he get? I mean, he got somewhere, but obviously, like, again, he did all those things, but at the end of the day, what did they still say? He was a what? You cannot assimilate yourself into the system. Look at how much we've assimilated over these 250 years. Look at how much we've assimilated, and still, targets still on your backs. Just now, more targets. Your target is still, matter of fact, your target is not red. Their target is red because they just got here, right? Your target, purple. Purple. Like Wakanda, so they can always know. And matter of fact, they don't even have to shine the light on the target for it to light up. Y'all, we have it embedded in our skin because we've been here for so long, and they've been fucking with so long that, like, that's what happened evolutionary wise. The target's just right there. They always see it. They see the purple. And y'all think if I just adopt these policies, the purple will rub itself off. No. At most, it will turn to a hue of red. And I think red and purple make like a pink or a brown. Either way, look at that. Still a target on your back. So I just don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't understand the policy. I think it's terrible. I think it's very anti-black. And I hope if I was them students, I would schedule a bonnet in. I'd be sitting with my bonnet all over the campus. We would be doing no work. I'd infiltrate every space they said that bonnet could not be in. That's exactly where the fuck I would be for the rest of the goddamn year. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You gonna not let me graduate because I wore a bonnet? Because I didn't even read if there are any penalties. Like, again, how do you enforce this? That's another thing. If they try, kids from Tuskegee University, if a teacher come up to you and say, yeah, you got to leave my class because you got a bonnet on, I wouldn't move. I would not move. You would not be able to move me. I'm not moving nowhere. I paid for this here education, and you ain't finna tell me the stipulations of how I can get this education. And I know some of you saying this is a private institution. They can do whatever the hell they want. You right, they can. But I'm sure gonna raise hell to show them that I don't fuck with it. And that's y'all's problem, thinking that you don't raise enough hell that, like, they'll listen to you, that they won't listen. They will. They will. You raise enough hell, you get results. You don't get results by sitting there asking, can I have some more, please? Please. You don't get no results that way. You get results by. And in that moment, that was a bonnet in, right? You also get results that way too. But that's not for this situation, right? You know what I'm saying? That's for another situation. But for Tuskegee University, put the bonnet on. I'm telling you right now, I don't do that. I don't apply to respectability politics at all. I come out this house, I come out this house. I'm not finna throw on a goddamn nice little dress and all that sort of stuff just to come out the house and go to goddamn Walmart and get me some goddamn heavy cream. No. I'm gonna keep this motherfucking bottle on. I'm gonna keep this goddamn boo on. I'm gonna keep these titties just a swaying every which way. And I'm gonna go get the goddamn creamer. And come back to this house. Y'all weird. Y'all weird as fuck. Next, we finna talk about this Black Panther and Blood and Bone shit. So, Black Panther has been announced for 2028, right? Also, David Johnson is going to play Black Panther. Now, this did cause uproar at the top of the week, the top of the week over the last weekend, because everybody was like, it should have been Damson Idris. Mind you, did all of y'all forget that Damson Idris was currently filming Blood and Bone, so therefore he couldn't do it. 2, I'm not saying that there's beef there, but I wouldn't be. I don't know. I don't know if I would hire the guy that is dating my homeboy's ex-girlfriend. I don't know. Again, it's about who's good for the job, but I don't know. But the point is, everybody was upset and said that T'Challa should be played by a Black American. I would like y'all to understand that the only requirement for Wakanda is that you are Black. Black French, Black Singaporean, Black Scottish, Black British, Haitian, Ghanaian, Kenyan, Nigerian. That just the requirement is that he's Black. 4 Black grandparents, not 2. Right? You see what I'm saying? That is the requirement. Unambiguously Black is the requirement. It doesn't matter if he's a Black British, doesn't matter if he's a Black American, because Wakanda is a fictional African country. Vibranium isn't real, guys. Not at all. T'Challa, as much as I love Chadwick and T'Challa, if they're not real, but Chadwick will always be my motherfucking hero. He's always gonna be my Black Panther. But I'm excited for David Johnson, right? Now the reason why we're gonna talk about Blood and Bone, because there's multiple things about Blood and Bone that we can talk about. Now, the reason why is because I seen this little post from this girl, and she was talking about, oh my God, because the Blood and Bone trailer came out around the same time too. So everybody was excited about that. And she said, oh my God, Blood and Bone is coming out. I'm so excited. Yes, Black Panther can suck it. Pause, bitch. Pause. Yeah, pause. Because why the fuck we got to sit here and drag and throw shade at Black Panther when and just because you were celebrating Blood and Bone? What if I told you could have simply said, oh my God, the Blood and Bone trailer has been released. I'm so excited. Yay. That ain't my issue. Y'all did it when like Cardi was making her hair care line. You tried to pit Beyonce and Cardi against each other, and y'all doing it now with these black with these movies. I just want to see Black fantasy, goddamn it. That's what I want to see. I don't care if it's Black Panther. I don't care if it's Blood and Bone. I don't care if it's Rooter Tooter. I don't care as long as it's Black fantasy. That is what Hollywood is missing. And you over here arguing about it, talking about, oh my God, no, Blood and Bone is better than Black Panther. Now, I know I'm going to sound like Nicki Minaj when I say this, but when they see us arguing like that, then they don't want to make the movies. They don't want to make them anyway, but when y'all over here doing all the arguing, that just extra makes them not want to do it, which brings me back to Tommy Ademi. Now, girl, respectfully, because I don't know you like that, either say it or shut the fuck up. Yeah. Either say it or shut the fuck up. Yeah. Because I don't know. Because now, before the trailer was released, at least I would say a solid 2 to 3 weeks ago. Yeah. 2 to 3 weeks ago. Or maybe a month ago. Tommy made a video talking about how she does not recognize Blood and Bone. She will not hype it up. She will not promote it. She did collaborate with them, obviously, and okayed them for the movie to be made, but she is not happy in any way, shape, or form. And it's just very sad that she can't acknowledge her own work on the big screen because she just can't. She never told us what the reason was from that previous video, right? So then Black Panther's released. Then the Blood and Bone trailer's released. And everybody's happy. Then she come back again with another video of, and I'm gonna tell you how the video go. It's a solid 5 minutes of her saying, I'm just very upset that things couldn't go the way that I wanted, and the people that I talked to about the things that we talked about, and the way in which that like we just didn't really get things accomplished, or things were not heard or listened to. Essentially, that's what she was doing. You know how she does word salad? That's what she was doing for them 5 minutes. Word salad of, I don't want to talk about it, but it was very heartbreaking. I can't tell you why it was heartbreaking, but it's very upsetting that I cannot respect this movie in any way, shape, or form. So either you gonna tell me what the tea is, or shut up. Shut up. I don't know. I really want to know. Like, I don't even know where am I supposed to be on this. Like, that's what I'm saying, because it's making me question whether or not I'm supposed to be excited for Blood and Bone. And I'm excited for Blood and Bone because I love black fantasy, and that's what I want to see. But then I got the author over here saying that some fuck shit went on, but she won't tell us what the fuck shit is. So I don't know if I'm supposed to be on her side or if I'm supposed to be on their side. And everybody's black, so I'm confused. And I am overstimulated now. I'm overstimulated now, and I'm irritated now, because what are we doing? What are we doing? And I know that, like, and then that's why I said I agree with what y'all said on Threads. We're not getting another black fantasy, are we? Maybe Netflix will pick it. Maybe Netflix will. No, Netflix won't either. They'll just cancel it after 2 episodes. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm conflicted. I don't know. But what I do know is we need our own app. We need our own app. We need our own space. But again, I don't know how you make our own space without them and the others trying to infiltrate it. Because this is it's an in-house conversation. It's in-house, but it's happening outside the house. And now everybody, and they looking and they like, well, they didn't like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I just don't know why Tommy upset. I don't need to know why she upset. If you could just DM me and tell me why you upset, girl, I won't tell nobody. I won't say not a word. I just need to know why you upset. Because I really want to see it. I just need to know why. And I want y'all to stop competing. I want y'all to stop contrasting and comparing, trying to make it seem like one black fantasy movie is better than the other. And again, I just want to be fed black fantasy. I just want to be fed black fantasy. And the same way in which that, like, there are plenty of white fantasy novels that are terrible and movies that are terrible. They're not that good, right? But like, they've been made over and over and over again. That's what I want for black folks. I don't need them to always be quote unquote Harry Potter level or Lord of the Rings level. I don't need that. I need black fantasy. I just want to see black vampires. I want to see black werewolves. I want to see black unicorns, or and black witches and black goblins. I want to see that. That's it. That's all. Granted, I would love a black Harry Potter type show, but all I'm saying is I just want black fantasy, and I'm really tired. I'm really tired. Why, girl? I just need to know why. That's what I'm saying. Why now? Because like, if it's just because you don't like it, and is it about money? Because that's what it's feeling like. Is it about money? Is it about money? Or like, is it about creative differences? I don't know. And then I don't want, and it's like, I feel bad because I don't want to tell her to like be quiet, but like also be quiet. Like you could tell us, just tell us, you know what I mean? Just like when my kids do that, they come in and do all the crying, and I'm like, what you crying for? And then they going around and about, but they're not telling me how we got here. How did we get here, Tommy? How did we get here? I need to know. I need to know. But again, I'm just a girl sitting in her corner, talking shit in her irritated corner for the free, whose name happens to be Capri. So thank you. That about wraps up this episode this week. Thank you guys so much for sitting with me. And again, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And for those of you who are listening via just audio on the streaming platforms, don't forget you can follow me at Capri's Corner on Capri's Corner on Facebook. I apologize. Capri's Corner 1 on Threads, and Capri's Corner on TikTok, so you can see some of my TikToks. But thank you guys so much for sitting with me, and let me know what you thought of this week's episodes. Do you agree? What are your thoughts and opinions? See you later.